we have such a wonderful opportunity to actually meditate on the form of Krishna. The meditation as it is being described here is that we should begin from the lotus feet of the Lord. As devotee, Rupa Goswami has written one very nice prayer in which he is explaining the nice meditation, how we should meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord. The devotees always hanker after the lotus feet of the Lord. And the lotus has, how the honeybees collect honey? They collect honey from different flowers. So the lotus has a honey which is very, very relishable by the devotees. So Rupa Goswami is writing this prayer in which he is saying, he is comparing himself to be like the bee, his mind to be like the bee. So Rupa Goswami is saying that my mind is like the bee and it is after some honey. The bee is after some honey, so my mind is also after some honey. So let my mind be constantly engrossed in your lotus feet. Why? Because your lotus feet are the resource of transcendental honey. And that is what my bee-like mind wants to relish. So Rupa Goswami is praying that let my mind be constantly absorbed at your lotus feet, because there is so much of nectar in your lotus feet that I don't want to take my mind off anywhere else. That is his prayer. And it is not so easy to actually we are very fortunate to have an opportunity in the temple to meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord. It is said that even the topmost personality in the material world, like Lord Brahma, we are all very tiny personalities in the material world. Even the topmost personality like Brahma hasn't got an opportunity to see the lotus feet of the Lord. Forget about seeing the lotus feet of the Lord. He even hasn't got the opportunity to see the ray of light emanating from the tip of the lotus feet of the Lord. So that is our fortunate position, that we can, and Rupa Goswami is further saying that I know it is very difficult to meditate on the lotus feet, on your lotus feet, but it is not so easy. But because you are very, very merciful to the devotees, any devotee who prays, you will satisfy his desire. And you are inconceivably powerful. So I am sure you will listen to my prayer and help me to meditate on your lotus feet. Because they are the source of transcendental nectar. The nectar that is derived from the lotus feet of the Lord surpasses all the nectar in the heavenly planets. So that is meditation on the lotus feet of the Lord. And there's another very nice analogy that Prabhupada gives of the potency, the power to meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord. That potency is so much, it is said, our minds are basically filled with dirt from time immemorial. From many, many millions of lifetime, our minds have been filled up with dirt. And that is our contamination. The contamination is in the mind, because of which we are materially engaged and we are not liberated. Going back to the spiritual means we are completely free and we are purified from the contamination of the mind. So this contamination, the dust which is sitting in the mind, because it has been sitting from so many years, it is said that this dust has accumulated over many, many millions of lifetime, and this dust has become like a mountain of dirt, and it has become very, very hard. Dust, if it accumulates over a period of time, it becomes as hard as a stone, like a mountain. And so this dust is also not some little quantity. The quantity of this hard material dust, dirt, is like a mountain. And now this mountain of dirt which is sitting in the mind has to be removed. Now, is it an easy task to remove the mountain, to remove a mountain? Nobody can remove a mountain. We haven't got an experience of anybody just going and removing a mountain. So how can a mountain be removed or a mountain be shattered? So it is said that the mountain can be removed it can be shattered only by one process. That is, if a strong thunderbolt strikes the mountain. If a thunderbolt strikes the mountain will immediately be shattered into pieces and there will be no trace of the mountain. A thunderbolt is of the order of some lakhs of voltage. And if it strikes the mountain can just disappear. So, the potency that is there in meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord is like that of a thunderbolt. That it can immediately remove the mountain of dust that is accumulated in our mind and make our mind completely clean and free from all material contamination. So, this is the potency of meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord. So, every day when we come to the temple, here it is being mentioned, we should take darshan of the Lord from the lotus feet and pray to the Lord to please keep my mind engaged in His lotus feet. Because that is the potency. Just by keeping our mind engaged on the lotus feet of the Lord, we can actually be completely cleansed from all material contamination. And only then we should proceed to see the smiling face of the Lord. So the Bhagavatam, which contains 12 cantos, is described that canto 1 is like the lotus feet of the Lord and canto 10 is like the smiling face of the Lord. So there's a whole process of purification involved. It is all gradual, like it is saying, jitam jitam, gradually controlling the mind. Sometimes we become restless that why am I not advancing in Krishna consciousness? I have been practicing spiritual life for so many years, but still this contamination is existing and, we become restless. The process is a gradual process. Patience, dhairya. We should all have patience and read Bhagavatam, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Every day, read Bhagavatam in a sequential way, not jump from one canto, second canto and then gradually jump to the 10th canto. The Bhagavatam is very, very nice narration of the pastimes of the Lord, and gradually, if we read daily, sequentially and then proceed, then a gradual purification will definitely set in. And then with that purification, our intelligence will become purified. And then we will be able to understand Krishna, Krishna's names, Krishna's form, Krishna's personality, everything. Right now our intelligence is materially contaminated. So with this materially contaminated intelligence, we cannot understand Krishna. Atah Shri Krishna Namadi na bhaved grayam indriyahi. Our indriyas, our senses, our mind, our senses, our intelligence are all materially contaminated. They have to be purified. Once it becomes purified, it becomes spiritual. And with that spiritual intelligence, we can understand everything. Who is Krishna? Who are we? How are we supposed to relate with Him? How we should serve Him? Everything is understandable. Right now also we are serving, and gradually, like this, serving Him day after day and reading the Bhagavatam, our intelligence becomes purified, and then gradually one day we will be able to understand Krishna fully as He is. And once we understand Krishna, we go back to Godhead.